When you pay for content, you don't expect to get a bad experience. GameMasters here, and I want to address the vitriol that is surrounding Wizards of the Coast, the disdain and broken trust. But at a certain point in this video, I am going to ask if things have changed. But this video too is partly in response to even my own video that I dropped last week addressing the sensationalistic folk that dogpile onto Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. I'm not going to defend those companies, but I do feel that a little perspective is in order, because I do understand how some people can feel the frustration. But at the same time, the D&D haters have come out of the woodworks. Some want to shame you into believing that if you play this specific game, Dungeons & Dragons, then you're in the wrong. That somehow their belief of and way of doing things is superior to anything you could pick on your own. So if you want to be just like them, you got to play only the games that they play and only the games that they recommend. That if you play anything that Wizards produces, then you're a shill. I get that some people are pissed off with Wizards because up until the OGL issues, players thought that Wizards of the Coast was not an adversary. They felt like they were a partner. Why? Well, most players' interactions were directly with that friendly local game store who was friendly and went out of their way to help their customers. So by extension, WotC must be a friendly partner too, right? That veil dropped, of course, and we all got a chance to see greed in full action. And the reality set in that Hasbro and WotC are corporations, and all they want is to make money. That was a cold, hard reality. And I don't think that any of us had ever been seeing them otherwise. We all are smart folk, and yes, of course, they were in it to make a buck. But at least at one point, we may have thought that they were making the product for us. In exchange, we would buy it. And that's the version of the term partner that I'm talking about. Only when the OGL issue came out, as well as other issues, it became blatantly obvious that there were no partnership, that we were instead dealing with a greedy corporation. I think that that is the new reality for both us as a consumer, but also now with how Wizards must navigate their marketing with us. We've become leery of their practice, looking at literally everything they say and trying to determine what part of it is out to screw us over. We wanted, and I think this is the important part, we wanted them to have our best interests in mind. Put simply, if a company has its customers' interests in mind, then those customers are more likely to open their wallets. If a company produces solid product, then the consumer is more likely to open their wallets. If a corporation doesn't shove an agenda into the faces of those who buy their products, then wallets are more likely to remain open. We knew WotC was in business to make money, and at a certain point we were happy to open our wallets because we did feel that they were providing a good product and good service. And I'm talking about from the 1990s on up to about 2015 or so, and we felt that they had our best interests in mind. We felt like a partner. This is a big reason why people have turned to small creators in certain Kickstarter campaigns. Those creators have been in the trenches with us. They are in the trenches with us. They understand what we, the player, have been putting up with, because they too had this same illusion that we and Wizards were partners. Now, before we move on to the second curious part of this video, I need to thank these loyal supporters. Their contributions to this channel have been amazing, and I cannot thank them enough. If you'd like to show support by becoming a YouTube or Patreon member, I'll leave a link down in the description, and of course I'll add your name to this growing list. Let's do a big shift and look under the hood, so to speak, and see if things have changed. The OGL, Open Gaming License issue. This was the big one that ticked a lot of people off. Did Wizards resolve this? Yes, flat out, straight up, yes, they did. They put the Systems Reference Document, the SRD, into Creative Commons, which in turn allows creators to create and sell content free and clear. Did we have a How to Z origin issue? Yeah, and Wizards fixed that. Did we have an AI issue with artwork in Bigby Presents Glory of the Giants? Yeah, Wizards fixed that. Did we have missized cards with the Book of Many Things? Yeah, and Wizards is currently fixing that issue too. Did they send a private firm to a YouTuber's house? Yeah, they did, and that's still pretty unforgivable. And on this one, I gotta be honest, it's not up to me or even you to determine if this one was made right. Only Dan Cannon and his wife can say if things were made right with that. We were told that he was given a lot of other cards, but if that made things right or not, only old school MTG can say. My point is, What issues have cropped up that Wizards has not addressed and not tried to fix? Yes, we can argue that the content is lackluster, but at a certain point that becomes opinion. There are certainly plenty of players out there that have zero issues with the new Spelljammer, and for them it works perfectly fine. So I can't really touch on that as an issue. What I can say is that this billion-dollar company that has been seemingly greedy just to get into our wallets, they appear to be addressing issues publicly to the players and fans of the game. They seem to be fixing the issues. Now, I will grant you this, a billion-dollar company should not be having issues like this in the first place. They should have enough money to buy somebody or pay someone to be in place that to ensure that mistakes like this simply don't pop up. I can only cite these bigger issues as breaking down to pumping out too much content too fast in an attempt to grab cash. And that is when mistakes will happen and quality will suffer. I don't think it's about the quality, or quantity rather. I think it all boils down to the quality of both the product itself, but also the quality of the company behind it. A few videos back, I did an expose of the Wizards of the Coast Employee Handbook. In an upcoming video planned for next week, I will be doing a much bigger commentary on that specific book. I want to see if Wizards has returned to their mission, especially in light of everything that's gone down this year alone. For reference, if you'd like to see a rundown of the employee book that we did previously, you can check out this video next. But talk to me down in the comments. Has Wizards shown that they are trying to do the right thing, or is it kind of a little too late? What could they do to reverse things, or are they currently on the right track to reversing them? Let me know down in the comments, and until next our paths cross, may you illegitimus non-carbon. Don't let the bastards get you down.